So if anyone doesn't know the reason as to why I'm doing these interviews so far, just to remind folks, it's to help people get out the lockdown funk, start looking forward to a positive future and making moves to feeling utterly fabulous. And so that when we are allowed out, finally, we won't just be coming out, we'll be coming out. So, so one of the biggest things about lockdown has been, especially this time around being in winter, is the lack of exercise that we're getting, regardless of whether that's the only reason we are allowed out. The fact is it's cold, it's wet, we're not getting that much exercise. So I've called on the help of my expert friends in business to help us out with this. So Rebecca, if you would like to tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Hi, so my name's Rebecca Quinn. I'm an ex-ballerina and I'm now a certified level 3 personal trainer, and I specialise in women's fitness. I do like to think of myself as a bit of a unique personal trainer. Few reasons for that. First of all, I'm female and there's not many of us around. Generally speaking, if you've ever used a PT at a gym, it's been like an 18-year-old lad who just wants to get you lifting big weights, which isn't necessarily what you always want. It's right for some people, not always right for others. So I understand us as women. And I'm also that little bit older, so I'm 40 myself. I've had 2 children, so I kind of understand what it is to have a woman's body that has been through so many different changes, and how it is as a mum to just want to get fit and healthy, how it is as a woman to want to not be lifting big weights and getting all muscular, but how to just be the very best that you can be. So I generally work one-to-one with clients. I do run a few classes. Obviously through lockdown that's not been easy, but definitely really hoping that I can help some of you guys here by speaking with Jodie and hopefully answering some questions on how we can get you feeling fabulous.
Lovely. Sorry, I got a cough now. I was really holding it in. I was like, don't cough.
What was that like? Was that any good? Did I
babble? Perfect. No, absolutely perfect. No, it was good. Right, okay. So one of the biggest downsides to self-esteem that I've certainly heard of over the last year has been weight gain. Suffered from it myself. I think there's been a lot of comfort eating and not eating the right things and the general lack of exercise as well. And I'm going to be talking to someone else about specifically diets anyway, but in terms of fitness, bearing in mind about how busy we are at home, trying to multitask, being mum, business owner, and whatever other strings you've got to your bow, how can folks start getting fit at home?
Well, I think the first thing is to not necessarily think about getting fit as having to join a gym or have a load of equipment and doing an hour's workout every day, because even for me that's hard. I've got two boys, I'm homeschooling myself, and that's just not realistic. But what people mustn't do is think that because they can't do that, they can't be active and get fit. There's loads and loads of other ways that you can begin to build stuff into your day. The most obvious stuff is being, just go for a walk. Just go for a walk, even if you don't know where you're going. Just get out and get walking, because it's great exercise, and breathing fresh air is so important as well. And I know that sounds really, really ridiculous, but actually you need to just refresh the oxygen in your blood. So getting some fresh air is great. And I know the weather's really poo at the moment. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's cold, wet, it's miserable. Yeah, it's just really nasty. And this is a tough time of the year for people anyway. But just wrap up warm. What, you can put on a thicker coat and you can put on a hood or get an umbrella out. Just because it is raining, try and not let that affect your mood. Actually try and look at the beauty in the weather. Sometimes the sea is even more beautiful when it's really windy and the waves are crashing in. So try not to look at the miserable weather and make it feel down. Try and look at the good stuff and just get outside and start walking. Another thing is, now please don't shoot me for saying this, but housework. I can't believe I'm okay. I know. But again, it's all part of this not thinking that fitness has to be leggings, crop top and a regimented workout. Actually, fitness and activity is anything active. So housework is amazing. And, we might not enjoy doing it. I'm actually a bit weird and I quite enjoy doing housework, but I know I'm not the norm. But, get the Hoover out and really go for it. Really go for it. Just sort of get in your bathroom, scrubbing on the tiles. It's actually a really good workout. So kind of get a little bit involved in your housework. Don't do little bits and pieces here and there. Just leave it until it all builds up. Have a massive bosh out, and it's actually a really good workout. And music is a massive motivator, and I know that is the case for pretty much everybody I know as well, to be honest. So maybe put it on while you're doing your housework. Stick on your favorite tunes and just boogie. I've taken photographs of myself just to cheer people up of me dancing with my Hoover, using it like as a partner. So it sounds ridiculous, but music can be a real mood lifter, and it can really help to motivate you to get active and to just start moving. So I think if you're really at the very beginnings and fitness wasn't necessarily a big part of your life before, if it's not in your routine, just dispel the idea of having to put on leggings and a crop top and do a routine. Just do anything that is active. Go for a walk, get the housework going, put some tunes on, and just start to get your body moving. So those, I would say, would be probably your initial first steps. And I'm sure we'll talk more about, how we can build on that. So I hope that helps.
So with home life and homeschooling, working from home and not really having that divide between work life and home life, plus limited access to resources, what would you recommend to help people get going?
I think, so I'm going to give some examples of how I've been helping myself, because even as a fitness professional, I found it difficult at times. Like I mentioned earlier, I've got 2 children that I'm homeschooling, 2 boys, I might add, and that is really difficult, because their homeschooling is all consuming. It's literally all consuming. So in order to get myself active and to help make sure that they are being active as well, something that I brought into the house is that every hour, on the hour between 9 and 3, we have an Alexa set. She goes off outside, whether it's raining, windy, sunshine, whatever, in the garden, 20 jumping jacks. And then you come back in again. Now, that it takes us less than a minute to do. It's so quick, but that's it. We down tools, everybody in the house, out we go, 20 jumping jacks, do it. It gets you moving. It keeps you active at stages throughout the day, because actually the days seem to drag on. It's like Groundhog Day, it's just repetitive. You're stuck in the same room. It's about breathing that fresh air that I talked about earlier, getting outside in the elements. It doesn't matter if it's raining, it's a bit of water. And that can work for kids of most ages, even if you've got toddlers. And I know toddlers can't do jumping jacks, but get the toddler outside in the garden while you do yours and then back in again. And it helps the day to pass, because you've kind of got this every hour on the hour regulated through the day. So that's just one little tip of how to keep active through the day. I think as well, again, like I said earlier, resources. So just because you haven't got a set of dumbbells or a yoga mat or all the fancy equipment that you might see in gyms or, on the videos that you watch, that doesn't matter. There's loads and loads of other things you can do, loads of exercise that doesn't involve any equipment at all. And there are ways of making your own equipment. So I recently posted a video on my YouTube channel about toning up arms, which is something I get asked about a lot, especially the under of the arms. And it involves using 2 tins of soup. So it's a really simple exercise that you can do, and you're using tins of soup as your weights, because most people don't have dumbbells sitting at home. And there's another video that I've put out with, which is kind of like using a kettlebell workout, which is quite good for your core. But what I did was kept hold of an old fabric softener bottle, the really big ones with the handle on the side. Once it was empty, I just filled it with water. There's your weight. It's got a handle. There's things that you can do. So again, don't use that as an excuse. Don't think, oh, well, I haven't got my dumbbell, so I can't do that. There is a way around it. Where there is a will, there is a way. But I think my biggest tip for how you can do it at home, basically to answer that question, especially if you've got kids, or if you are working from home and you're on your computer, pick something. It doesn't have to be jumping jack, to be anything. I just went with that because it was easy. Set an alarm every hour, on the hour, everybody outside, in the rain, in the wind, whatever. Just get moving, and set an alarm on your phone or your watch or your Alexa and stick to it. And get yourself moving and motivated.
Alexa, set an alarm for 3 o'clock.
Is that 3 o'clock in the morning or in the afternoon?
In the afternoon.
One set for 3 p.m. Did you know that your alarms can now be set to music?
No, stop talking now.
Next time, you can ask to set a
He's still
music
talking.
Boom! That is what I'm talking about. So we chose to work between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. just because that was their school day.
Yeah.
So yeah, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12, 1, 2, 3.
I'll figure out how to do it on the hour later, but I've got my first one at 3 o'clock. It's happening.
Exactly. So it doesn't have to be jumping jacks. It could be burpees, or not a lot of people like those. It could be squats. It could be just running on the spot. I mean, it really doesn't matter what it is, but something. Stand up, do it, and then sit down and crack on again. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think I'll start with jumping jacks. It's quite straightforward.
Yeah. It kind of seemed like the easiest, the most obvious. Also, my own 2 boys, they're not, necessarily the easiest children to be motivated. So yeah, jumping jacks just kind of seemed quite straightforward. There you go.
You go join in? Might do.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So another major factor for accomplishing what we want with fitness is motivation. So we've set our alarms, and I will stick to that. But have you got any tips for motivation moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. Loads and loads of tips. It's probably my most common asked question when people come to me for help. It's the people say the most often, oh yeah, well, I was going to, or I really find it hard, and that is, and it's this downward spiral. It is really easy to just not do it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things you need to think about. The first is, what's your why? What is your why? Is it because you've put 2 stone on and you want to lose the weight? Is it because you want to get healthy? There's like a million different answers, but you need to figure out, what is your why? What is your ultimate goal? And why is it that you've decided now is the time I need to take care of myself? It may even literally be, I want to look at myself in the mirror and not want to cry, which is kind of my why most of the time. That it could be anything.
Yeah.
So what's your why? Figure it out, write it on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere. Doesn't have to be on show for everybody else to see. The inside of your wardrobe door is normally kind of a nice spot, because my husband never goes in my wardrobe. I don't think he even knows which, So yeah, what's your why? Write it up, stick it on the inside of your wardrobe door, or, kitchen cupboard door, somewhere that, it doesn't have to be on show. Keep it private. But it is a reminder as to what is your why, so that you know why you're doing what you're doing. And then you need to make an appointment, like we've just discussed with Alexa, setting that timer. If you want to be doing more than that, if you want to really be going for it, you need to make an appointment with yourself. Let's say, for argument's sake, let's say 3 times a week. You want to work out 3 times a week. Then you need to do it. You need to make that appointment with yourself and stick to it. Now, that is very, very difficult, and it takes practice. But for me, as a wife and as a mother, I make an appointment and I decide, oh yes, I'm going to do this, but then my husband needs that and the kids need this, and it gets pushed back, or it gets delayed, it then gets cancelled. An appointment with yourself has as much value as an appointment for anything else. You would never just make an appointment with the doctor and not turn up. So don't not turn up for yourself. You need to turn up for you. So make an appointment and stick to it, and make sure that the other people in your house stick to it as well. Make sure they understand the value of that appointment, and get them to help you stick to it. So my children have learned over the years that I am a nicer mother if I have had my time. It's in their best interests to let me have this piece of time, because if I don't, I'm not necessarily as patient, and my sense of humour tends to be a little lacking. So they will, and your families will be the same. If you're anything like me, they will very quickly realise, oh my God, when we've let mum go off and have this little bit of time to herself, wow, she comes back smiling and she's really happy. So that is a gradual thing. That isn't something that's going to happen overnight, because again, if you're anything like me, it's just kind of something that snuck up on you. You deem yourself not as important as everybody else in the house. You're always at the bottom of the pile. You've got to stop doing that. put yourself up to the top of the pile. And I think finally is that you need to be realistic. So whatever your goal is, and your goal could be crazy, it could be whatever you want, but you need to be realistic about the steps you're going to take to get to that goal. So one of the biggest reasons that people fall off the fitness wagon, shall we say, is that they've gone in hard and fast. I'm going to do an hour a day of full-on hit cardio. I'm clearing out every item of chocolate sweets and all my yummy foods. I'm literally going to eat vegetables, and this is it. And let's be realistic. Yes, okay, that is potentially a very healthy way of living. But is it sustainable? No. And is it realistic? No. So what you're actually doing, without realising it, is you're setting yourself up for failure. Because you can't stick to that unless you are some kind of like Olympic training athlete. That isn't a regimented routine that you can stick to. So what you want to do is make small changes, simple small changes, and then build on those changes. So you've got to be patient. That's definitely important. You need some patience. If you go in hard and fast with these crazy over the top diets and crazy over the top workout regimes, you aren't going to be able to stick to it. So make a small change. That first small change could be, I'm going to go for a walk every single day. Stick to it, work at it, sustain it for a couple of weeks, and then build on it. Okay, I'm still enjoying my walk every day, but I want to do some more now. So once a week, I'm going to do a 45-minute workout, and then stick to it and build on it. So keep your goals goals crazy, but realistic steps to get to that goal, so that you don't fall off the fitness wagon. One last piece of advice: get rid of your scales. Get rid of them, because they can really demotivate you, because you stand on them. Yeah, everybody hates scales, and yet everybody is obsessed with standing on them on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And you need to stop standing on your scales. You need to stop. Get rid of them. They make you feel really crap about yourself most of the time, because very few people get on the scales and are pleased with what they see. What you've also got to remember is, if you are going to start changing your body and building muscle and doing workouts, your body's going to start changing. It's going to start changing how it holds on to its fluids. It's going to start changing its levels of muscle mass to fat mass. Lots and lots of different, I'm not going to go into the science behind it, but potentially your weight could actually go up when you begin this journey for lots of different reasons that I'm not gonna go into all the reasons, but there is a reason why. Get in touch with me if you want to know more, otherwise I'll just talk for hours. So you're going to see your weight go up rather than go down, and then of course what you're going to do if you see your weight go up, you're probably going to then give up, because you think, oh my god, it's not working, what's the point, I'm not going to bother, blah, 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 blah. Get rid of your scales. Just worry about how you feel. Energy will be, increased. You'll be increased in your energy. How do your clothes fit? Does that look a little bit less tight on me? Do those jeans zip up a little bit easier? Look at those ways of judging how you're progressing, and try not to live on your bathroom scales. Get rid of them. I hate them.
Agreed. I don't have any anymore.
Good.
Got rid of them, because every time I did start doing any kind of working out, I always got heavier, and it always just made me feel worse. And
you would have stopped because of that, and yet if you'd have continued, your weight would eventually have gone down. There's a reason why your weight goes up when you first begin working out. And that's what and it throws everybody, it throws people, they're not expecting it. So get rid of them.
No, now I base it always on what I wear, because I'm just at the point now where it's like, oh, you're about to go up a dress size. I'm like, no. So I am getting back into those jeans, whether it kills me. Awesome. Okay. So finally then, how can people access your products and services?
Great. Right. Well, I'm local in Deal in Kent. So out of lockdown, I see clients one-to-one in a private studio, which a lot of my clients really like, because nobody is watching you. It's not like being in a gym with a PT and you've got lots of other people around. My studio is completely private. It is me and it is you and nobody else. So you don't have to be worrying about being watched. We can work one-to-one on your goals, and I will use lots of different techniques. So I use yoga, Pilates, bar, traditional gym workouts, whatever it is that suits the goal that you're after. I will completely put together a totally unique package that is going to be just for you to help you fit your goals. If you don't want to work with me one-to-one, there's loads of other things that I can do to help you as well. So if you go to my website, www.rebeccaquinnfitnesspro.com, I've got some workout packages available on there. There's 2 up there at the moment. These are available for you to purchase, download the videos, and then this is going to give you a nice structured workout. There's one for postnatal fitness, and there's another one for not postnatal, like normal. I don't want to say normal, that's the wrong word. You know what I mean? Other people are not postnatal. And they're going to give you a nice structured workout so you can follow along on those. And if you're looking for something that is even less intrusive than that, you go onto my YouTube channel, again, search Rebecca Quinn Fitness Pro. You're going to see loads of videos. And I think the longest is about 5 minutes. So these videos are really nice and short. So they are quick and easy, that you can literally fit them into a very small piece of time at varying points throughout your day. And again, you know, these cover everything from aerobics and HIIT cardio all the way down to yoga, full body stretches, working on flexibility. There's a whole host of different stuff on there. And then, of course, just follow me. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, Rebecca Quinn Fitness Pro. At the very, very least, follow my posts and hopefully pick up some advice from the things that I'm putting out there for you.
Awesome. And I promise I 100% will definitely at 3 o'clock today be working on my arms, I think.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you very much.